Imagine the moment when Earth picks up a signal, not just any signal, but a distress call from deep space. At first, it seems impossible. The idea that intelligent extraterrestrial life exists has been debated for centuries, but now, proof is staring humanity in the face. The signal is weak, fragmented, but undeniably artificial. Governments rush to decode it. Scientists scramble to analyze its meaning, and the world holds its breath. What could it be? A warning? A cry for help? Or something beyond human comprehension? The discovery begins at an observatory in South America, where a radio telescope, scanning the cosmos for anomalies, intercepts a repeating pattern buried in cosmic noise. At first, it's dismissed as interference. But when the sequence repeats, at precise intervals, mirroring mathematical constants that don't naturally occur in space, the reality becomes undeniable. The message originates from a system over 1,000 light-years away, a region astronomers have long suspected could harbor habitable planets. The implications are staggering. If this is a genuine distress signal, it means an advanced civilization is reaching out, possibly in desperation. The question is, why now? And what happened to them? As world leaders convene in secret, the scientific community pushes for transparency. The leaked news ignites a media storm, with every major network speculating on the nature of the message. Religious leaders call it a test of faith. Conspiracy theorists warn of an elaborate deception, and the general public is torn between fear and excitement. But while humanity debates, linguists and astrophysicists work tirelessly to decode the message. Using AI algorithms and pattern recognition, they extract a crude translation. Help us. Catastrophe. Extermination. The urgency is undeniable, but the details remain unclear. What kind of catastrophe? What force is exterminating them? And most importantly, should humanity respond? Governments are divided. Some argue that responding is too dangerous, that engaging with an unknown alien force could lead to catastrophic consequences. Others see it as a moral obligation. If an intelligent civilization is on the brink of extinction, isn't it humanity's duty to help? But what can Earth possibly do for a species separated by 1,000 light-years? The debate takes a dramatic turn when astronomers make a chilling discovery. The signal's origin, a planet previously believed to be in the habitable zone of its star, appears to be undergoing rapid, unnatural changes. Observations show erratic energy bursts, unnatural planetary shifts, and what appears to be large-scale destruction. Whatever is happening there, it's still ongoing. As theories spread, one gains terrifying traction. This is not a natural disaster. Some unknown force is attacking or consuming the alien world. The signal is not just a call for help. It's a warning. If this threat exists in the universe, it could one day reach Earth. But what kind of entity could be powerful enough to wipe out an entire civilization? Could it be another, more advanced alien race? A rogue AI that turned against its creators? Or something even stranger? An intergalactic phenomenon beyond human understanding? As scientists race against time to gather more data, a shocking breakthrough occurs. Embedded within the signal are faint traces of another set of coordinates. At first, they seem random, but when plotted, they lead to a point much closer to Earth, a region near the Orion Nebula. The implications are staggering. Is this a second location tied to the distress call? Another civilization in danger? Or could this be a remnant of the same force that annihilated the first? Suddenly, the mystery deepens, and the urgency to act intensifies. But before humanity can make a decision, something unthinkable happens. A new transmission arrives. Unlike the first, this one is crystal clear, stronger, and unmistakably directed at Earth. And its message is nothing like the first distress call. It's not a plea for help. It's a response. The second transmission sends shockwaves through the scientific community and governments worldwide. Unlike the fragmented distress call, this message is deliberate, structured, and unmistakably directed at Earth. The world's most powerful radio telescopes confirm that the signal originates from the same distant region, but something has changed. The distress call was weak, erratic. This one is different. It is strong, unwavering, and purposeful. When decoded, its meaning is as terrifying as it is cryptic. Do not interfere. You are being watched. Panic spreads. Who sent this message? The same civilization that pleaded for help? Or is this a different force, one that wants humanity to stay away? Theories emerge at an alarming pace. Some scientists believe that the warning comes from the aggressors, the very force responsible for the destruction of the alien world. If that's true, then the unknown enemy is aware of Earth and does not want interference. Others speculate that the message is from survivors, perhaps a last attempt to prevent Earth from making a terrible mistake. What if the catastrophe was caused by something contagious? A galactic-level event that spreads from one civilization to another? World leaders face an impossible decision. Some argue that the warning is a bluff, a way to instill fear and prevent Earth from uncovering the truth. Others believe the message should be heeded. Humanity is technologically unprepared to engage with a force capable of planetary-scale destruction. Intelligence agencies secretly push for further study, attempting to track any anomalies in nearby space that could hint at the presence of an unknown intelligence. Meanwhile, the United Nations calls for an emergency summit. The question on everyone's mind: should Earth respond? As global tensions rise, an unforeseen event changes everything. A private aerospace corporation, one of the few with advanced deep space observation technology, makes a chilling discovery. A new object, previously unseen, is moving through the outer reaches of the solar system. It is not a natural celestial body. It moves with precision, altering its trajectory in ways that defy gravitational norms. At first, it appears to be a rogue asteroid or an unknown probe, but when analyzed further, it becomes clear this is an artificial construct. Something, or someone, is already here. Panic sets in among world leaders. Could this object be connected to the transmissions? If so, has Earth already drawn the attention of an extraterrestrial intelligence far beyond human understanding? The object continues to move, seemingly unaffected by the laws of physics as known to humanity. Some speculate it could be an automated scout, an observer sent to monitor Earth's reaction to the distress call. Others fear it is something far worse, an enforcer, sent to ensure compliance with the warning. If humanity chooses to respond, will it provoke retaliation? Secret military projects accelerate, with world governments scrambling to understand the nature of the approaching object. Satellites are repositioned, deep space radars fine-tuned, and classified reconnaissance missions launched. Yet every attempt to intercept signals from the object results in failure. It neither emits nor responds to any known form of communication. Then, just as mysteriously as it appeared, it stops moving. The object, now stationed at the edge of the solar system, simply waits. The world is at a standstill. Some believe this is a test, an invitation to prove humanity's worthiness to engage with extraterrestrial intelligence. Others warn that this is an ultimatum. If humanity crosses a line, the consequences could be catastrophic. Religious figures call it a moment of reckoning, while scientists argue that this could be the greatest opportunity in human history. Yet, amidst all the debates, one terrifying thought lingers. If this unknown intelligence has been observing Earth, how much does it already know? Then, something happens that no one predicted. The signal from deep space changes again. The distress call, once desperate and broken, strengthens. The message, once a plea for help, shifts into something new, something more direct. It is no longer just a cry of suffering. It is a request for Earth to make a choice. The message is clear now. The distress signal is not merely a desperate plea, it is an invitation, a request for action. But the question remains, what kind of action? The decoded message contains a new set of coordinates, different from before. This time they point not to the destroyed world, but to a region of space disturbingly close to Earth's own galactic neighborhood. The implications are staggering. Has the conflict, whatever it may be, spread closer? Or is there something there that only humanity can uncover? World leaders are divided. The debate is no longer about whether to respond, but about what kind of response to give. Should Earth extend an offer of help, despite the risks? Or should humanity turn away and pretend it never heard the call? The discovery of the silent object at the edge of the solar system complicates the decision. It has remained motionless for days, neither advancing nor retreating. Is it waiting for an answer? Or is it simply monitoring Earth's every move? Then, a breakthrough occurs. A hidden layer within the distress signal is discovered, an intricate sequence buried deep within the transmission. When fully decoded, it reveals something no one expected: an image. A visual representation of something or someone. The image is grainy, distorted, but undeniably artificial. It depicts a structure, massive, alien, unlike anything seen before. Floating in the void of space, it appears lifeless, abandoned. Surrounding it are fragments, the remains of what could be a battle, or something far worse. Suddenly, the pieces begin to fit together. This is not just a call for help. It's a call to witness something, to understand something, and maybe to prevent something. If this is a battlefield, then what war has been fought here? And why does someone, or something, want Earth to see it? A secret mission is planned. Despite public fear and international outcry, a coalition of space agencies begins work on a deep space probe designed to reach the new coordinates. The mission is classified, its details hidden from the general public. But just as final preparations begin, everything changes again. The silent object at the edge of the solar system moves. After days of motionlessness, it suddenly accelerates, directly toward Earth. Panic erupts across the world. Military forces are placed on high alert. Satellites track its approach with desperate precision. Scientists scramble for explanations. But before any action can be taken, the object stops. It does not enter Earth's atmosphere, nor does it take an aggressive stance. Instead, a new transmission is received. This time, it is not a distress call, nor a warning. It is a single, haunting phrase. You were given a choice. Then, in an instant, the object vanishes. Not in a conventional sense, not through acceleration or propulsion. It simply ceases to exist, as if it was never there. In its place, an unsettling silence lingers. No further signals come. No new movements are detected. The probe, now en route to the mysterious coordinates, carries the last hope of answers. But deep in the minds of those who understand the implications, a darker thought takes hold. Was this a test? A message? Or was it something else? Something Earth was never meant to understand. The universe is no longer silent. Something out there is watching. And whether humanity has passed or failed remains unknown. But one thing is certain. The next time a distress call is heard, the answer may not be humanity's to give. The silence that followed the vanishing object was more deafening than the message itself. You were given a choice. Those words echoed in the minds of the world's top scientists, military strategists, and intelligence agencies. But what choice? The deep space probe was already en route to the newly revealed coordinates. Was this the right path, or had humanity just crossed a line that should never have been breached? The world tried to move on. News cycles shifted. Governments fell back into their usual conflicts, and the public, though shaken, eventually buried their fears beneath the weight of everyday life. But behind closed doors, the greatest minds of the generation worked tirelessly to understand what had happened. Why had the distress call led them here? Who, or what, was watching? And why had they simply disappeared without confrontation? Months passed. The probe continued its silent journey through the void. Every few days, Mission Control received transmissions from its onboard instruments, feeding back images of vast, empty space, scattered asteroid fields, and distant nebulae. But then, on the 176th day of its mission, everything changed. The probe, traveling through the designated coordinates, sent back an image that stopped every heartbeat in the control room. There was something there. Something enormous. The structure, in the grainy image, mirrored the one hidden in the distress signal. It was alien, unmistakably artificial, and horrifyingly ancient. A derelict construct floating in the abyss, its sheer scale beyond comprehension. Jagged, metallic, and scarred by what could only be weaponry, it stood as a silent tomb in the darkness. Around it drifted debris, shattered hulls of ships, frozen remnants of something that once fought and lost. And then, the probe detected something else. Movement. Not from the structure itself, but from something within. It was faint, nearly imperceptible, but there was no mistaking it. Something was inside, and it was still alive. The response was immediate. NASA, ESA, CNSA, and other global space agencies gathered in an emergency summit. The probe's findings could not be ignored. A mission, a real human-crewed mission, was proposed, one that would investigate the structure firsthand. It was an insane idea, but the alternative, leaving this mystery unanswered, was even worse. But just as the mission was being finalized, the probe sent back one last transmission before it went dark. It was a message. This time, not an alien transmission, but an automated distress call from the probe itself. Its last recorded words chilled everyone to the core. They are awake. Then, silence. The room fell into stunned silence as the final transmission from the probe faded from the screen. They are awake. Who were they? The probe was designed to withstand extreme radiation, deep space anomalies, and even minor collisions. For it to go dark so suddenly meant only one thing. It had been deliberately shut down. But by what? Or who? Despite the overwhelming uncertainty, the decision was made. A manned mission would proceed. A multinational effort, code-named Project Sentinel, was launched in complete secrecy. The public was fed a cover story, an ambitious deep space exploration initiative aimed at studying interstellar phenomena. But those involved knew the truth. This was a reconnaissance mission, a desperate attempt to uncover the secrets hidden in the derelict structure before it was too late. Months of preparation led to the launch of the Odin, a state-of-the-art exploration vessel equipped with the most advanced AI systems, deep space survival modules, and defensive capabilities ever developed. A crew of 12 scientists, engineers, and military specialists embarked on a journey that could change human history forever. The voyage to the coordinates was long, but uneventful. The Odin traversed the vast emptiness, its crew spending their days analyzing data from the lost probe, training for potential first contact scenarios, and debating the meaning behind the distress call. But as they approached their destination, an unsettling feeling crept through the ship. Systems malfunctioned at random. Crew members reported vivid nightmares, visions of cold, lifeless corridors, of something unseen watching from the shadows. The ship's AI, designed to monitor the crew's vitals, detected elevated stress levels across the board. Then, on the 24th day, they saw it. The structure loomed ahead, just as massive and ominous as the probe had captured. Its exterior was a labyrinth of metallic ridges, shattered corridors, and vast gaping holes where some force, had torn through its hull. No signs of life, no transmissions, just silence. The only movement came from the slow drift of wreckage surrounding it, remnants of a battle fought long ago. The Odin established orbit and deployed its reconnaissance drones. They swept through the structure's exterior, scanning for radiation, atmosphere composition, and structural integrity. That's when they found the breach, a massive tear in the hull leading to an inner chamber, the only viable entry point. The decision was made. A team of 6 would venture inside. As the boarding team entered, the atmosphere changed immediately. The interior was colder than expected, frost covering the walls. The architecture was unlike anything seen before. Tall, jagged corridors with shifting metallic surfaces, as if the ship itself had once been alive. Strange symbols adorned the walls, glowing faintly under the team's flashlights. The air was thin, but breathable. And then, they saw it. Bodies. Hundreds of them. Humanoid in form but distinctly alien. Their armor was sleek, their bodies elongated, their faces frozen in expressions of agony. Whatever had happened here, it had not been a simple battle. It had been a slaughter. The deeper the team ventured, the clearer it became that something else had been on this vessel. Something that had hunted them. Then, a noise. A low, guttural vibration echoing through the corridors. At first, they thought it was the ship itself, metal shifting under pressure. But then it came again, this time unmistakable. It was not mechanical. It was not random. It was breathing. Something was still here, and it had just woken up. The team froze, their breath visible in the freezing air. The sound, the slow, deliberate inhale and exhale, echoed through the lifeless corridors. It was close. Too close. Weapons were raised, scanners activated, but there was nothing. The walls of the ship stretched endlessly in all directions, yet they felt trapped, as if something was watching from just beyond their field of vision. Then, the lights flickered. The faint glow of alien symbols lining the walls pulsed erratically, like the dying heartbeat of something ancient. And in that moment, a shadow moved. Not a trick of the light, not debris shifting. Something moved. Fast. You see that? One of the soldiers whispered, his voice barely above a breath. Confirming. Thermal scan shows. The technician's voice cut off as her visor display glitched. No life signs. But something's here. It's cold. The breathing grew louder. This time it wasn't just one presence. There were more. Many more. The first attack came from above. Something dropped from the ceiling. A twisted skeletal form, its body encased in a mix of organic and metallic armor, its elongated fingers ending in razor-sharp claws. Its face, if it could even be called that, was a hollow void, a gaping abyss where eyes should have been. Before anyone could react, it screeched, an unholy sound that reverberated through the corridors, shaking the walls. Gunfire erupted. The creature moved impossibly fast, twisting and contorting as it lunged toward the nearest soldier. A single shot landed, tearing through its body, only for it to reform, shifting like liquid metal before striking back. The soldier's scream was cut short as the thing absorbed him, his body dissolving into its shifting mass. "Fall back! Now!" The team scrambled, retreating through the maze-like corridors as more of the creatures emerged from the shadows. Some crawled along the walls, others materialized from the very fabric of the ship itself. They weren't just inhabitants. They were part of it. The ship had never been abandoned. It had been left behind, a prison, and humanity had just opened. The door, back on the Odin, alarms blared. The ship's AI detected anomalous energy signatures surging through the structure, as if it were reactivating. Something was coming online. Something vast and incomprehensible. Then, the distress call returned. But this time, it wasn't coming from deep space. It was coming from Earth. Mission control back home was in chaos. Massive energy signatures were detected on the Moon, in Earth's orbit, and even beneath the oceans. Structures hidden for centuries, waiting. The message was no longer a plea for help. It was a warning. The choice had already been made. And now, the real war was about to begin. Please subscribe this channel for more interesting videos like this.